watching Skyline Cable 22, a programming service of Skyline Cablevision Limited.
Vous regardez Skyline Cable 22, un service de programmation de Skyline Cablevision Limited.
Bootleggers and the New England Crusaders. I'm Dave Naylor along with Kevin Robinson. The Bootleggers lead in this game 7-0. They took the opening kickoff, drove down to the Crusader 4-yard line before having a missed field goal. And when the Crusaders took over, unable to move the ball, their punt was returned 50 yards by Jamie Straw. And that's where we are now, the Crusaders scrimmaging from their 40-yard line. And Kevin, as we predicted from the outset, the Bootleggers looking like the stronger team.
Oh, certainly, and Jamie Straw just made a great run back. That's what he does very well, and as we mentioned, he's known for doing that throughout the league.
Pablo Ortiz at quarterback for New England. And the first play from scrimmage, some pushing and shoving. Ortiz ends up with the ball and no gain, or very limited.
Yeah, that was Tim McGowan that he sort of just fired the ball at, and unfortunately, Pablo shouldn't do things like that, I don't think, to the Bootleggers, because they've got their first unit on the field, and they could make it a very long night for him. And if the game goes as we think it will, Dave, I'm sure that all the players will see action tonight.
Well, New England, very unimpressive. Their first drive, they punted on a 4th and 20. They lost a series of yards on their first 3 downs and have shown nothing. A gain of 2 there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Some movement on the line. Looked like number 62, Tony Donahue, was offside for New England. We'll see what the flag is. It is going to be against Donahue, and that will back them up even further. 2nd down. Referee going to mark the ball at about the 37-yard line. So a 5-yard penalty. It will be 2nd and 15.
Dave, when we were down on the field before the game, we spoke to some of the New England coaching staff. They mentioned that they were 1-6. And not hard to see why the team does have that record. And as you mentioned, we haven't seen anything that's really impresses us. They've got to try to come up with something to throw the Bootleggers off, because when the offense comes on the field, they are just moving the ball up and down the field.
So 2nd and 13 for New England from their 37. Ortiz looks, throws to the sidelines over the head of number 83, Harry Rentis.
Didn't look like the play would have gone for too much anyway, Dave. Even if Rentis had made the catch, the cornerback for the Bootleggers was right up on the side. I'm sure it would have been limited to a small gain.
Well, the defense for the Crusaders in that first Bootlegger outing came up with a nice goal line stand. But if this is the output we're going to see from New England's offense, it won't take too long for them to become worn down.
Also, with only 20 or 21 players in the lineup, some players going both ways, they physically are going to be tired. It's a cool night here in Lansdowne Park so far. However, once you've been on the field for a straight half of football or going into 3 quarters, I'm sure rigor mortis will be ready to set in for them.
While looking at the sidelines, the Crusaders with a collection of maybe 10 players over there. The Bootleggers look like they could field another team with what they've got, and that will probably become more of a factor as the game goes on. 6:08 in the first quarter. Bootleggers with 3 first downs. New England still looking for their first. It is 3rd and 13 from the 38-yard line. New England first looking to had just 1 play that's been positive at yardage so far. Draw play here, and there are 5 Bootleggers stacking up the running back. I can't see the number because of the Bootleggers on top of them.
That's number 32, Stephon Stevenson. And Dave, if there's one thing that we can notice right away, Ortiz, the quarterback, took that ball, and he sort of looked around a bit as he was going down. It took a long time developing, and that appears to be the difference right now. The Bootleggers, I mean, their plays are very crisp. They strike quickly. As soon as the ball moves, every player's moving in the direction that he's supposed to be.
So Jamie Straw back to return this punt from Pablo Ortiz. It is 4th and 13. Ortiz, short kick. Straw runs up to meet it, bounces at midfield where New England will down it. And right about midfield.
You know, in a situation like that, too, it looked like the Bootleggers might have been trying to set up the return instead of going for the straight block. Coach Greg Marshall, obviously, in this game will have the opportunity to do things like that. Just to provide some sort of a recap, too, Dave, in the first home game, the Bootleggers defeated the Brooklyn Kings 31-14. Then a week later, they traveled to Watertown, and they beat the Red and Black 29-0. And, of course, last week, New Jersey Oaks in town, the Bootleggers up with a 25-12 victory, and that's why they have a 3-0 record.
First and 10 here at midfield for quarterback Rod Moores, who engineered a fine drive to the 4-yard line the first time. He hands here to Hunt. Hunt runs around to the left side and will pick up about 4. Neil Hunt and Domry Robertson in the starting backfield for Ottawa tonight. We saw one of their star running backs on the sidelines, Kevin, Mike Sheeran. You might want to tell us how he's coming along.
Yeah, Mike's doing okay. When they played down in Watertown against the Red and Black, he broke his leg, or had a hairline fracture in one of the bones in his leg, so he's been out for a couple of weeks now. And, you know, what started out as a position where there was a lot of guys, I think there was probably 8 or 9 running backs at the beginning of the season. The Bootleggers are down to all 3 or 4 now, and I know I talked to Coach Greg Marshall after the last game, and it's something that he is concerned about. Mike Sheeran thinks he's about a week though away from coming back in the lineup.
2nd and 7, handoff here to Roberson. He runs to the left, tries to cut back, and is taken down at about the 39-yard line. He picks up the first down.
Nice play by Domry there. He bounced into the line, was stopped, quickly went outside and gained the necessary yardage.
Roberson, one of the few American-trained players on the Bootleggers, playing his college football at Northern Arizona.
Of course, the Bootleggers, they do have quite a variety of talent. Basically local players, a number of players from the Ottawa Sooners or the Carleton Ravens or the University of Ottawa GGs.
Moores, the quarterback himself, and a fine career at the University of Toronto, one of the CIAU's all-time leading passers. It is 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for the Bootleggers. Straw in motion. Moores drops back, looks to his left, throws to Waters at about the 27, and it will be another Ottawa first down.
Very nice play by the Bootleggers, and if you notice there, Dave, Waters made the nice catch, but Straw was going deep, and the entire middle was wide open. I mean, if they had slipped anybody else underneath, it would have been another easy completion for Moores. And he just appears to be picking the New England defense apart.
Straw in motion. You don't talk about receivers as being intimidating type football players, but when you see Jamie Straw moving through the backfield, it really catches the attention of the secondary.
And Jamie Straw is not a big guy, but he's one of those receivers who's quick, he's got some good moves, and he runs very good patterns. 1st
and 10 from the 27. Hand off to Hunt. He breaks through the middle and will pick up about 6. Taken down at about the 20-yard line of New England. So once again, Kevin, kind of interesting. The Bootleggers seeming content to eat away at this New England defense.
And I think that's what Greg Marshall's going to want them to do. I mean, obviously, if they come up against a team that may not be playing to their level, there are certain things that you have to work on. And if they can engineer these long drives, I mean, it's good work for the Bootleggers. Instead of having to rely on the big play to a guy like Jamie Straw or Chris Johnson or somebody else all the time.
2nd and 4, gain of 6 for Hunt on that play. Moores gives to Roberson. He runs into the middle of the line, and he will be stacked up there.
The initial hit made by number 92 there, Devinson Plummer. A nice play, shook off the block and was right in the hole. Robertson didn't have anywhere to go.
And as often happens, 2 or 3 tacklers joining him and pushing Robertson back. The referee blew the whistle. He picks up 2. They spot his progress. It will be 3rd down and 2 from the 27-yard line. Sorry, from the 18-yard line. Got to watch these lines.
That's right.
Off to Hunt. He breaks through the middle. He'll have the first down at the 15-yard line. So these drives eating up quite a bit of the clock. We're inside 2 minutes now of the first quarter. Ottawa leading 7-0. If you're joining us late, Jamie Straw returning a punt 50 yards. Something Bootlegger fans have been accustomed to seeing.
You know, we don't have time of possession statistic available readily, Dave, but I think if we did, you'd see that of the 13.5 minutes that we've played already, the Bootleggers have probably had the ball 10 minutes or more.
Well, New England negative 13 yards on offense through 2 series, no first downs. So Moores now from the 15. He's got Straw in motion again, going left. Drops back, looks at Straw, throws to Waters, touchdown Ottawa.
Wide open, nice catch by Waters. Just basically beat Willie Grody, number 28, the defensive back. And again, it seems that these defensive backs for the New England Crusaders, Dave, are giving the Bootleggers a lot of room. I mean, they're playing off them a few yards, and it seems that all the players are doing.
We've got a replay here. You'll see how Waters was able to cut in front of the defender and step into the end zone. 13-0 Ottawa. Alan Willard on to attempt the extra point here. Jamie Straw will hold. The snap is a bad one. Straw tries to make do with it and takes a hit, drops the ball, and unlike in the CFL where you cannot run a misconvert down the field, the play is whistled dead.
Yeah, Jamie Straw making like Garo Upremian for all those who remember the Miami Dolphins when they were in their heyday, when he tried the faded pass in the Super Bowl at one time. Bad snap. The Bootleggers, Dave, so far, I mean, they've driven the ball impressively, but we saw there they had a chance in their first series to get a field goal. Willard didn't come up with a good kick, and I mean, these are the little things on special teams that I know Greg Marshall doesn't like to see.
Well, you've got to be careful when you're playing a team like New England with a 1-6 record. They can lull you into thinking you're better than you are. The Bootleggers are going to have some tougher opponents coming up later in the season and the playoffs. And as you mentioned, these are the things they're going to have to get down against teams like New England if they're going to go as far as they did last year or further. So 13-0, 1:05 left in the first quarter. Crusaders with negative 13 yards offense here. Quarterback Pablo Ortiz having a difficult time. We've got a flag down. It's going to be delay of game against Ottawa.
Again, things like that just shouldn't happen. It seemed that we saw a couple of the players coming in for the Bootleggers off the bench late to get in on the play. And Greg Marshall can't be happy with that sort of thing.
Andrew Ferguson and Doug Waters entered the play late, and by the time they got set up, flag was dropped, so they will be kicking off at the 30 instead of the 35. Willard hits a medium kick. The players go back. They drop it. It falls on it at the 15. It is number 83, Harry Rentis, really cut in front of his teammate to try to field that ball, and the penalty was having the ball roll back 10 yards to about the 13-yard line, and with New England's offense, they really can't afford to take that kind of field position. You know, and that's got to be quite discouraging for the New England coaching staff. I mean, the Bootleggers took a bad penalty. They had to kick the ball from 5 yards further back. Willard doesn't have a real big leg anyway, and hopefully, they were going to set up a good return to try to give them a little better field position. And, as you say now, I mean, they've got the ball on their own 14-yard line. They're in the shadow of the goalposts, and Ortiz in this offense just can't operate that well from there. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Ortiz pitches to Stevenson and picks up about 4. Sorry, they'll call it 2. Again, nothing fancy. This offense not really looking like a high-tech. The draw play they ended their last series on didn't fool anybody, and neither did that pitch. Gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It seemed in the last play Stevenson was doing a lot of east-west running as opposed to north-south, and this offensive line, I think, is getting ripped to shreds by the defensive line of the Ottawa Bootleggers.
The defensive line getting through there every time. Ortiz not much time to set up and do anything. Pitches here to Stevenson. It's over its head. Picked up by number 44, Bill Conassini, and he doesn't get anywhere with it.
No, Shane Ireland tracked it down, and there's going to be a loss there. They're going to be operating from about their 10-yard line, I think. And again, that's the sort of thing that shouldn't happen. It seems now, Dave, that what New England is trying to do almost in these running plays is pitch the ball out wide just to try to get the runner outside to isolate against 1 or 2 defenders because the line's just not doing the job in the middle.
Well, from the opening moments, the handoffs that they were meeting Bootleggers immediately, and I guess trying to give the players 2 or 3 steps of momentum before hitting the tackle to give them any chance at all. Bootlegger defense really not meeting much of a challenge here.
And because we're at quarter time, we realize that the Ottawa Bootlegger cheerleaders, the Lager girls, are out on the field doing one of their many numbers to the entertainment of the crowd. And Dave, just a reminder that this is Skyline Cable 22 presenting the Bootleggers against the New England Crusaders in American Minor Football League Alliance action.
We'll be back with the second quarter right after this.
Watching Skyline Cable 22, a programming service of Skyline Cablevision Limited.
Vous regardez Skyline Câble 22, un service de programmation de Skyline Cablevision Limited.
This and final coming to you from the Civic Center in Ottawa. 12:30 to go in the second period.
Ortiz tries to run it himself. He's taken down there by number 87. Sorry, number 97, I believe, Lance Thompson, and number 99, Steve McHugh.
From the shotgun, I thought Ortiz maybe was going to try some sort of a pass, Dave, but a very simple play, just a quarterback draw or a quarterback sneak. Gained a few yards. They've moved the ball basically up to about the 14 or the 15, but they're going to have to punt again, and Pablo Ortiz does not have a real good leg. And this is going to put New England just in a bad position. Of course, Straw with the only man back.
High kick. Straw waits for it. He bounces back, takes a New England bounce. They'll down it at about their 47-yard line. So a pretty good, impressive kick there from Ortiz. Good height, allowing his coverage team to get down there and prevent Jamie Straw from making any sort of return. That is a fairly significant thing to do.
Having just said that Pablo Ortiz is not a real good punter, he just seemed to boom one off there, and if he can continue to do that, that will certainly help the New England cause.
Well, the defense put in a tough position. They've been on the field a lot during the first quarter. 14-17 mark of the second quarter here. The Bootleggers will scrimmage, as I said, from the 42-yard line of New England. Quarterback Rod Moores during the first two series eating up a lot of the clock, throwing short passes and running plays. See how he attacks it here. First down. Moores looks, throws, and out to Straw. Tackled immediately. No, he looked like he was down. Number 45, Terry Mitchell, in there with the penetration, but Straw not going down, was able to gain another couple of yards, and that's something Jamie Straw is known for. He likes to be known for, the kind of player who never gives up, no matter how often it looks like he's down and out.
Yeah, and that was just a little quick hitch pattern to the wide receiver, and what they try to do is isolate Jamie Straw one-on-one, and they got the isolation they needed, but as you mentioned, Mitchell came up, almost made the tackle, slowed him down enough to get some help from the linebackers.
I think the Bootleggers feel if they can put Jamie Straw in a one-on-one situation, that's the kind of matchup they want. Loss of 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 15, Ottawa, from their own 48-yard line now. Moores drops back, looks, now scrambles, running out of the pocket. He's going to be taken down there by a storm of Crusaders led by number 96, Dean Mitchell.
A good play by the New England defense. Good coverage that time by their defensive backfield. You saw Rod Moore scrambling around, and when the quarterback's doing that, it means that he can't find a receiver that's open downfield. I thought initially, Dave, when he stepped up into the pocket, he just might stay there and try to let things develop a little more, but he had the happy feet going in there and decided to run around a bit.
Moores is ordinarily a drop-back, stand in the pocket, sort of American-style, textbook American-style quarterback, not the Matt Dunnigan style, flaring out to the sidelines, throwing across his body style. He likes to be protected, and this offensive line does a very good job of it. It will now be 3rd and 16. Moores lost another yard on that play, so a passing situation for the Bootleggers. Moores drops back, looks at Straw, pumps one, throws deep. Straw is open. He makes the catch, and there's a flag, too. They're going to call interference on number 57, Marcelino Alejandro, and Straw able to keep the concentration despite being hit and made the catch down at the 14-yard line.
Great catch by Jamie Straw. Rod Moores, as you said, pumped once and then just laid the ball out basically for Straw to run under. Good concentration to haul it in with the man all over him. Even if he hadn't made the catch, they would have got the yardage.
So Straw gets a bonus catch there. He'll get credit for it. And it will be first down at the 14-yard line for Rod Moores and the Ottawa Bootleggers. Roberson in motion in the backfield, cutting to the right side of the field. Moores pitches to number 35, Steve Powell. He makes it back to the line of scrimmage, not much more. We really can't say that the New England defense has been much of a disappointment. They've held their ground well, especially considering the amount of time they've been out on this field.
Exactly, and they've been beaten on the big play a couple times. I mean, the punt return by Jamie Straw. We just saw the big reception by Jamie Straw. One of the catches by Waters on the far sidelines was a big gainer. And when he made his move, when Waters got the touchdown, he was wide open, and that was not a short pass. So it seems when Ottawa runs the ball, that New England is good, and their front line is not too bad. The linebackers appear to be not too bad, but their secondary, I think, is very suspect.
Steve Powell in the backfield lining up behind Moores, single setback. Moores drops back, looks over the middle, throws for Straw over his head.
Unfortunately there, Dave, it looked like Jamie had to reach back a bit as he jumped into the air. We've got a flag down, and I don't know if we're going to get a roughing the passer call or not.
I think number 52, Anthony Rocco, was in there a little late, put Moores to the turf. Great name for a football player, don't you think?
Yeah, Anthony Rocco.
And it will be Rocco who is penalized.
Also giving the Bootleggers a first down.
And that is a very big penalty. It will be first and goal from the...
Looks to be about the 7 or the 8.
7-yard line. Look at the Bootlegger bench. Andy Waterman, one of the American players on the Bootleggers, number 96. So first and goal for Ottawa. Moores bumps into his running back, and number 33, Omri Roberson, took that ball and fell backwards after he bumped into Moores. It will be a loss of about 3 on the play. Make it second and goal from just inside the 10.
Not much of a play there, Dave, and you saw right from the snap of the ball, the whole line just seemed to collapse backwards. The offensive line didn't get the surge that's necessary when you're that close to the goal line to take the defensive line out of the play. Robertson didn't have a chance, and to top it all off, he bumped into Moores when he got the ball handed to him.
So the Bootleggers will try to improve on that on second down. They lead 13-0, 10:07 in the second quarter remaining. Moores drops back, throws a short pass for Waters, almost picked off by number 45, Terry Mitchell. Looked for Waters, but I think he expected Waters to cut him towards him rather than go to the end zone.
Again, it seemed to be a mistaken pattern or a miscommunication between Moores and the receiver. Waters was basically out of the play, and Mitchell, the ball hit him right in the hands. You don't want to drop those when you're on the defensive side. And Mitchell, Dave, has got to be one of the better players I think that New England has. Certainly on their defense, he's one of the more impressive ones.
Well, Kevin, you mentioned the Bootleggers looking like the better team, but also suffering a number of mental lapses here. It is now third down and 10 from, or third and goal from the 10. Just drops back, looks over the middle, throws, it's tipped and caught by Jamie Straw.
Who would have believed it? Tipped by number
56.
Carl Charette.
Well, there is Jamie Straw. Even when the ball is not thrown at him, he manages to come away with it. A fantastic degree of concentration to watch that ball fall into his arms. He took a hit following it, but that's a touchdown, Ottawa. We're going to have a replay here and have a look at it.
And Dave, how many times can Jamie Straw keep doing this sort of thing for the Bootleggers? I mean, a couple times last year, you know, he won games with catches like that. And the guy's just a great athlete, and as you mentioned, great concentration. It's good that they got the touchdown, but again, it's a sloppy kind of a touchdown.
Well, the pass was intended for the tight end, number 83, Danny Massey. And really not a well-thrown ball. And Straw able to save the Bootleggers. Well, I think that gives you some degree of measurement of skill level in these two teams. The Bootleggers not playing well. Have had some stupid mistakes. Yet with 9:55 left in the second quarter, they lead 20-0.
I think what's going to happen, Dave, is that Greg Marshall will let the first stringers probably go for the rest of this half. He'll talk to them out over this intermission, and then in the second half, we'll see probably massive substitutions by the Bootleggers. As you said, though, there's been a number of mental errors, and it's hard, you know, we don't want to seem like we're down on the Bootleggers up here in the booth, because we certainly aren't. But when the Bootleggers get the opportunity to play against other teams like Racine, Wisconsin, and good clubs, they can't afford to be making mistakes like this.
As I said, easy to get lulled into to sleep by a team with the offense like New England has, but we'll see what kind of stamina the Bootleggers can, mental stamina they can keep up during this game. Alan Willard to kick off. Kick is going to be taken by number 32, Stevenson. He takes it at the 20, crosses the field here, tries to run around the end. It's going to be taken down by number 22, Rob Laflamme, and made about 5 yards on the return, ran about 30 to get 5. The Crusaders will scrimmage from their 25-yard line. I should remind anyone tuning in that the field markers you see are not the field markers that the game is using. If you see the ball scrimmaged at the 30, that is actually the 25. Subtract 5 from what you see. Midfield, the C on the Canadian Football League field remains the same, but everything else is subtract 5. And we are using 5-yard end zones also.
Well, New England has got to try to get something going with 9:48 to go in the half, Dave. They've got to, whether they score or not, they've got to generate some offense so to prove to themselves that they can move the ball against the bootlegger defense.
Pablo Ortiz setting up in the shotgun, 2 setbacks. He fakes the handoff, tries to run to the left. Steve McHugh misses him. Lou Edwards in there, and he gets around to the sideline. A good effort, a punishing effort. Not taking many blockers with him.
I think that was, I don't know if that was a broken play or if it was a mistake by Ortiz. It seemed again that the flow was going to his right, and he took the ball, ran out to his left, made a nice gain. Flag on the play, though. We'll wait for the call.
Well, I don't know who the offensive coordinator is for the Crusaders, but he's not the most creative gentleman in the world.
I think we're getting a face masking call against the bootleggers, and that's going to bring the ball up to the 50-yard line. Good news for New England because they haven't been up in this part of the field for the game yet.
Well, that's their first down. Comes on a penalty. Number 99, Steve McHugh, I think, was the one who was called for the infraction. So New England at midfield will scrimmage. 1st and 10, 9:32 left in the second quarter. Bootleggers lead 20-0. Pitch out to Stevenson. He gets walloped there. A whole pile of bootleggers in there. Paul Brown, I think number 97. Lance Thompson made the initial hit.
That was a punishing hit by Thompson. Another flag, though, and I think it's going to go against the bootleggers.
It will go against the bootleggers.
And it's going to give New England another 1st down.
I didn't see what the call was.
Yeah. Again, without sounding too negative about the bootleggers, Dave, sometimes this happens in their games, and again, if they want to be a championship team, this is the type of thing that they have to try to minimize.
Well, New England just picked up their second 1st down and have now netted 30 yards on the last 2 plays from scrimmage, both on penalties. So they will take 1st down now at the 36-yard line, reaching the 9-minute mark. Ottawa has scored 3 touchdowns, and they lead 20-0. Ortiz pitches back. Nobody. Number 44, Bill Conassini, was left all alone.
Lance Thompson again.
Lance Thompson, Andy Waterman in there, and really not much of a chance for Conassini.
No, and they were just there waiting for him.
A smaller running back. Conassini is the type who really needs to get into open field, I think. He's not going to knock anybody over when he hits him, especially not somebody the size of Waterman, who is 6'8".
Here we have another look at the Legger Grills. Once again, doing another cheer for the crowd here at Lansdowne Park.
They've got the winter dews out, it looks like. Have a break here. Mike mentioned, Kevin, one of the bootleggers who was in the lineup for the game against the Brooklyn Kings has joined the Calgary Stampeders, Mustafa Ali.
Well, that's very good to see when something like that does happen, Dave. I know there's a number of players on this team that we certainly think should have the opportunity to play in the league. Whether they could stick or not in the CFL is up to them when they get there. But for Mustafa Ali to get a shot again to play in Calgary, good for him. Ali
played with the Carleton Ravens before joining the Winnipeg Blue Bombers last season. He had a short stint with the Hamilton Tiger Cats earlier this spring, and now has landed a spot with Calgary. Played with a safety here for the Bootleggers 2 weeks ago. Ortiz, it will be 2nd and 16, loss of 6 on that play to Conassini. Ortiz fakes, he runs a naked bootleg around the left end. He's going to have a good gain on this one. Taken down by 3 or 4 bootleggers, but not before he reaches the 25-yard line. And a bit of a surprise there.
And that seems to be one of Pablo's favorite plays because he's run it 4 or 5 times so far in the game. It was a good play, though. Good call. He caught the flow going the wrong way. Got turned around the end and made a nice game.
Punishing way to play football. Naked bootleg quarterbacks do not have long careers, and he has survived this far, but I'm not sure if I were Pablo Ortiz, I'd want to be running that play too many more times.
Well, we haven't seen him throw that often, so I suspect that his arm may not be that good.
It is 3rd down and about a foot for the Crusaders. Ortiz throws, looking deep. He's got a receiver. Dropped by number 88. Eric Henderson. He was open, and Ortiz showing us a pretty good arm there.
Yeah, once again, I mean, I said the guy couldn't kick before, and he boomed a punt. And I said he couldn't throw. He didn't have a good arm. He just lobbed one in the end zone. Should have been caught. Broken up at the last second, though, by defensive back Dwight Beckford of the Ottawa Bootleggers, and he made a nice play, but he was chasing at the end because the receiver was open.
Well, it was a ball. The play coverage was tight enough that the ball had to be well dropped in there, and it was. The best scoring opportunity we've seen the Crusaders have by a long ways. It is going to be now 4th down on the foot. Ball is fumbled, and I think number 97, Lance Thompson, is in there on top of it. He is.
Nice play by Lance. The ball was fumbled by Ortiz. Bad snap from center, and we saw that happen on the first play of the game, so that's certainly not, you know, they're not playing that well. They're not playing sound football, the New England Crusaders.
Well, that's probably their best opportunity. In fact, for sure, it is their best opportunity they've had in this game, driving the ball down to the Bootlegger 27-yard line before missing a 4th down conversion. So replay, we're going to see Thompson come in behind and fall on that ball.
Looked like Ortiz, as soon as he got it, when it hit the turf, he just tried to pick it up and fall forward, and he never did get a handle on it, and Lance Thompson came in and picked it up.
Some movement on the line, flags everywhere. We've got a new quarterback in for Ottawa. Number 7, Andy McAvoy in there.
Yeah, former Ottawa Sooner, and I think this one's going to go against the Ottawa Bootleggers. It looked like number 9, Brian Bino. He was up out of his position and moving before the ball was snapped, drawing the defense offside.
It will go against Ottawa. It will be now, it's a 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15 from the 22-yard line. You mentioned McAvoy's experience coming with the Ottawa Sooners, so another homegrown talent. Much of the Bootlegger roster is from the Ottawa area. They draw further away from Toronto and Montreal, but McAvoy an Ottawa product.
Oh, good to see Andy getting some snaps and some playing time in here, because you never know what will happen if Morris goes down later in the season with an injury. You got to have somebody who can step in there, has had some game experience, and can lead the team.
Hand off to Hunt. He cuts back up the middle, picking up about 3. Hunt, former Carleton Raven, spent some time under Ace Powell in the glory days.
And Ace, one of the Ottawa football legends that we're hoping is going to be in the stadium tonight as part of this night that the Bootleggers are sponsoring. Also, it's Greaser night, and I don't know if it's true or not, Dave, but before the game looked like we might have some live entertainment coming on at halftime.
I can't wait. 2nd and 12, Bootleggers from their 25. McAvoy, draw play, scrambling to his right, being chased, puts up a lame duck pass. It's about 5 yards out of bounds.
That was actually not a bad fake by Andy McAvoy when he faked the handoff, Dave. I thought we were going to see a draw play, and he went outside. The only good thing on the pass was that he threw it out of bounds where nobody could get it. He was running, scrambling for his life. Why not do that as opposed to taking a sack or getting the ball intercepted?
A little play action there from McAvoy, and he did have number 54 pursuing him, Matt Machansik, and I think he intentionally threw that ball out of bounds. Close enough to the receiver, though, that he could avoid a grounding penalty. 6:29 left here in the 2nd quarter. 3rd down and 12 for the Bootleggers. McAvoy drops back. He's got some pressure, throws low. Bino tried to make the reception. We've got flags down in the backfield, and we may have another roughing the passer call here. I know number 54, Mashansik, was in McAvoy's face.
It also looked like number 34, Neil Hunt, came up on the limp a bit after that play. So we've got a call against the New England Crusaders, and it's going to give the Bootleggers a 1st down. And again, Dave, those are mistakes that you can't make. I mean, if New England doesn't do that, the Bootleggers have got to kick the ball away, and maybe New England gets better field position, and they showed a bit of offense on their last series.
Well, New England, during this midpoint of the 2nd quarter, showing as strong an effort as we've seen from them, and had a chance maybe to turn the tide even more. Silly penalty, and Ottawa will take over at their own 40, 1st down. So we've seen penalties moving the ball here more than players here the last 5 minutes or so, both teams. Waters in motion for Ottawa. An offside there. Hand off to Roberson. Number 45, Terry Mitchell, was in there early for New England.
And that sort of thing, Dave, is a sign that New England is trying to get a jump somehow to try to turn the tide back against the Bootleggers.
It is going to be offside against New England. And that will bring the Bootleggers into a 1st and 5 situation from their own 45. Bootleggers lead this game 20-0. McAvoy in replacing Moores, who successfully guided his team to 3 scores. New England showing a bit of blitz. Got a flag down, and I think there was motion on the line. Crowd booing there. Late hit coming from number 57, Marcelino Alejandro.
And that was number 86 taking the ball for the Bootleggers, Steve Fargo. Jamie Straw not in the game, so it looks like Jamie will be done for the night, or certainly done for a while, in order for some of these other players to get some action.
Appears the penalty was against Ottawa, so we're going to get into a 1st and 10 situation. Players not used to this cool weather, maybe a few stiff losses. Able to hold their energy on the line.
Another shoulder blade.
McAvoy looks to his right, has Donery Roberson all alone, and he can't make the play.
Almost, you're absolutely right, Dave. Donery was wide open, and if he had caught that one, it was an easy 6 points. And the ball, I think, probably got up in the lights a bit. Donery ended up almost looking straight back over his head, almost trying to pull that in, and his body was quite stretched out as he tried to make the reception.
Here's a replay of that play. Ottawa catching the New England defense, snapping when they send Roberson in motion to the right side of the field. You're going to see it. Roberson trying to get his body in the right position, just can't make it. It will be 2nd and 10, Ottawa. McAvoy drops back, looks to his left, throws wide of the intended receiver, number 83, Danny Massey, the tight end. Massey was slow getting up there, and he's going to go to the sidelines, and Brian Vino will come in for Ottawa.
Yeah, it looked like Danny maybe jammed a knee or something when he dived to try to make that reception, Dave.
Tough on the turf. I think most players will tell you they'd rather be playing on dirt and grass, a little more give to it. A very innocent fall can produce serious injuries on AstroTurf. So it is 3rd and 10 after 2 incomplete passes. McAvoy, one running back in the backfield, drops back, draw play to number 35 Powell, picks up about a yard, and the fans booing here a bit.
Well, I think they're a little upset, and the Ottawa Bootlegger fans have been spoiled over the last couple of years, as you know, Dave. They expect to see the Bootleggers wherever they take the ball, moving up and down the field. There we can see on the screen Massey being checked over by one of the trainers, and as we said, it looks like a knee injury, the way the trainer's probing in there.
Very delicate part of an athlete's career, those knees.
Well, I think what, as you mentioned, Dave, what people have to realize about the turf is that when we were down there before the game, very nice to walk on, but once you start running and get tackled on it, there's not a lot of give to it.
You're talking about concrete 2 inches down, and we all know what that's like. Punt by number 15. Fitley is taken by New England, number 45, Terry Mitchell. He runs around back and forth, ends up about where he started, and New England will take the field at about the 30-yard line.
Lots of energy there by Terry Mitchell, certainly looking to try to make something happen, Dave, but not getting the blocks.
Well, we've seen that a lot. We've seen some good individual efforts from New England tonight, but it's often naked bootlegs or players running past their blockers or away from their blockers, and that's a tough way to gain yards. 4:02 remaining in the 2nd quarter. You're watching Ottawa Bootlegger football on Skyline 22. I'm Dave Naylor along with Kevin Robinson. The Bootleggers scoring 3 times early here, lead the game 20-0, and their defense has dominated New England.
We'll see if Ortiz has got something else that he can do here, Dave, other than the naked bootlegger or the pitch
Pitch here to Stevenson. He's met by a ton of bootleggers. Led by number 40, Mo Lepage.
And we have a flag on the play, Dave. I don't know what that call is going to be.
Kevin, do you have a stat for gang tackles?
No, but it seems that that's what the bootleggers are doing all the time, and that's a good sign because it means that their players are still in the game and they're doing their assignments and they're getting to the ball.
There is no flag on the play. Referee signaling either two referees disagreed on or the flag was unintentionally dropped. So, 2nd and 14 for New England. Hand off to number 44, Conassini. He picks up about 2 of those 4 yards they lost on first down. Again, swarm tackled.
Pablo Ortiz making a quick trip to the sideline, probably to get some instructions from the offensive coordinator. Who knows what took place in that conversation.
It was short. 3rd and 12, New England. Really seen only one good scoring opportunity. They threw some penalties. New England marched down to about the bootlegger 30-yard line, and they had Eric Henderson, their wide receiver, open in the end zone, and he couldn't hang on to the ball. So 3rd and 12, 3:06 remaining in the first half.
As you mentioned, Dave, the Crusaders only with 2 first downs.
Ortiz smothered in what looked like a rugby type play. Really, the line collapsed immediately from the time the ball was snapped. That will back them up inside their own 20-yard line with 2:45 remaining, and it will be 4th down and long.
You know, Dave, who knows what was going to happen there, if he was going to pass or run the bootleg as he's done a few times before. But it's, I mean, the defense just must be having a great time. They're just teeing off on him as soon as the ball is snapped.
The snap is high. Ortiz gets it off. It's a skyrocket short. It will land just at about the 45-yard line and bounces out of bounds at about the 47. High snap. Good effort by Ortiz to get that ball away.
Yeah, it was. And there's a flag on the play back at the kicker. Shane Ireland didn't quite time his leap correctly, and what happened, instead of going to the ball, he crashed into the kicker, so I'm sure this is going to go against the bootleggers.
Officials huddling to discuss it. Shane Ireland, one of the more aggressive bootleggers. An all-star in the Minor Football League Alliance last year. Some discussion going on as to what exactly the call is here. You see the bootleggers sideline, Jamie Straw, number 1. What has been, I guess, a fairly contented sideline to this point of the game.
And it looks like they're going to do this kick all over again.
Well, we're not sure what the call was or what really came out of that. It will be 4th down again, and Ortiz is back to attempt the kick again. Snap low this time. Gets the kick away. Pretty good kick. Waters signaling a fair catch. It drops, and Waters touches the ball. It drops. It's picked up by Conassini. He is tripped up at the 15-yard line. And an error there by Doug Waters. He signaled first fair catch, and it really wasn't the type of ball he was ready to fair catch. He did get to it. He was struck immediately by 3 Crusaders. And now we've got the officials huddling again. I don't know if there's some debate over how this is going to go. Here's the replay.
Good high kick that time, Dave, by Ortiz. And as you say, when it comes down, then Waters gets to make his move on the bounce here, never gets the handle.
Thrown down by 1. Conassini very alertly picking it up, and if it were not for a late tackle there, it could be a 20-6 ball game right now.
Exactly. That was Shane Ireland making the play, so the big guy certainly came a long way back to make that tackle. And again, we don't want to get down on the boot.
Expecting more of the same, as we saw in the first half. Pretty much bootlegger domination. Like to see them erase some of those mental errors that let New England creep back in the game.
Yeah, certainly, and I see Rod Moore's got the helmet on, pitching the ball down the sidelines with McAvoy, so hopefully when the Boots go on offense, Rod will get a few more minutes of playing time and try to get the team back on track.
Pablo Ortiz remains a quarter. Pitch out here to number 32, Stephen Stevenson, and he's run down towards the sidelines.
Looks like number 91, Shane Ireland, making the play again. Very quickly, Dave, from the first half, Rod Moores was 7 for 9 for 110 yards and 2 TDs. Andy McAvoy, 1 of 5 passes for 44 yards. Big receivers for the Bootleggers. Doug Waters, 5 catches for 111 yards, 1 touchdown. Jamie Straw had 3 for 43 and 1 touchdown. Not a real good ground game so far for the Bootleggers. Only 28 yards total in rushing, and penalties 6 times penalized the team for 79 yards.
One of those very crucial gave New England a shot that what earlier would have ended a drive, gave them a shot at the end zone, and they cashed in, collecting their only 6 points of the ball game. Here's 2nd and 13. Pass over the middle is deflected and falls incomplete. Number 98, Paul Brown.
Nice play that time by Brown. Dropped well into coverage. Got the ball to go up in the air, too. Thought he might have been able to pick it up after he tipped it. Ortiz really not going that well. The New England stats from the first half, Pablo Ortiz 1 of 5 for 4 yards. Rushing total 12 yards only on the ground. Penalties, the New England Crusaders had 7 for 59 yards.
So we're talking about total offense, 16 yards in the first half. A very unimaginative offense. Their biggest gain coming on a naked bootleg by Ortiz. He'll go from the shotgun here, 3rd and 13. Now we've got some movement. The Bootleggers jumps offside. It's number 40, Mo Lepage, and we'll see if he was drawn.
I think he was. I think the call is probably going to go against number 17, Bernard Wright, one of the tackles for the New England Crusaders.
Well, when you see a player not hold up at all and sort of throw all his weight into what he's doing, and often he's trying to signal, hey, it's not me, somebody moved. So that will back it up to 3rd and 18. We are in the opening moments of the second half of football. Bootleggers leading 22-6. Dave Naylor along with Kevin Robinson bringing you this game on Skyline 22. 3rd and 18 from the shotgun. Ortiz looks to his left, throws. He had a receiver open. It was number 83, Harry Rentis.
That's hit him right in the numbers when he jumped up for that one. And Dave, in those situations, you got to pull the ball in.
Well, the opportunities for completions, just 1 in the first half, have been far and few between for New England, so it hurts when they do miss one of those. Ortiz will drop back now to his 13-yard line to punt on 4th and 18.
Thing to notice, too, is that Ortiz is not really that far back for the punters. He doesn't take as deep a drop as some of the other ones.
Jamie Straw takes the ball at the 47-yard line. He rushes to the right, cuts back towards midfield. He'll be stacked up there by number 40.
Excellent block that time by Shane Ireland, number 91 on the return. That was the block that was going to spring Straw, but as he cut back into the middle, a lot of player traffic, and Jamie got stacked up.
Well, Straw, as you see, very rarely will you see Jamie Straw cut to the sidelines and step out of bounds. And as was characteristic, he tried to cut back towards the middle of the field, but was caught from behind. First down, Bootleggers. They are at the 45-yard line of the Crusaders. Rod Moore's back in at quarterback. He sat out the second quarter. Throws deep here for Straw. Straw's got it, and is going to march into the end zone. Touchdown, Ottawa.
They just took Marcelo Alejandro apart on that play.
He gave up as soon as Straw got the ball. Straw's speed and momentum, there was no way he was going to catch him. We're going to get a replay on this. Moores looks right away at Straw, knows where he's throwing. Hits him at the 15, and the last few steps are easy does it for Jamie Straw.
Well, that's the kind of coverage or the matchup that the Bootleggers want to get. Jamie Straw against a linebacker is no contest. And excellent toss by Rod Moore. Underneath it, Jamie got the touchdown.
Well, we saw their offense sputter a bit in the second quarter with Moores and Straw out of there. Didn't take them long to jumpstart the offense. The convert here is...
We haven't had a signal yet.
An indication, and it doesn't look like we're going to get one. That's the strangest thing I've ever seen. All the officials just sort of said, okay, that's done, and walked towards the middle of the field. There was no signal, and
Well, they gave him 7 points, assuming it went through, but it was 20-6 at the half. Certainly, Coach Greg Marshall's got to be happy with that, Dave. The team, as we said, had sputtered a bit in the second quarter. They put Moores and a couple of the others back in, Jamie Straw, and they hooked up immediately, and that's the type of thing they've got to do.
The Bootleggers been kicked off at the outset of this third quarter. Will kick off again with 12:49 remaining. And they lead 27-6, and we'll see how Greg Marshall plays it, whether he leaves Straw and Moores and some of the other starters in there. He took them out during the second quarter when Ottawa went up 20-0, and they sputtered, and New England crept back into the game with a touchdown right before the half. Alan Willard's kickoff here will go number 45. Terry Mitchell will take it at the 20. He runs back now, cuts it up through the middle of the field, up to the... He's pushed back about where he took the ball at the 15-yard line by a quartet of Bootleggers. And that's where New England will scrimmage. Number 37, John Lamont, leading the tackle.
I think the next time the Bootleggers are on offense, Dave, we will see Moores and the others back in, probably for a couple of more series, just so they can get some work. I mean, one quarter and a bit of work is not enough for the starters over the course of the game, especially at this point of the season.
So the Crusaders, who, as we mentioned, had just 16 yards total offense, but managed to come away with a touchdown thanks to some Ottawa penalties in the first half, will operate for a short down here to start off. First down from the 20-yard line. Bootleggers showing blitz. Here they come. Ireland right in there. He's after Ortiz. Ortiz turns the corner, runs headlong into number 54. Get the number there.
I think it was McGowan, number 58.
Number 58, Tim McGowan. Good effort there to evade the tackle of Shane Ireland, but there's a situation for you, being chased by Shane Ireland and running into Tim McGowan. The result was a gain of a yard, the tough way. It will be second and about 9 for New England.
Pablo certainly took the lesser of two evils. There, Shane Ireland was leading a charge of linemen against him, so he did the good thing by bailing out.
From the shotgun again, Ortiz looks, throws deep. He's got Henderson. It's picked off. Runs the ball back to the 28-yard line. Rob LaFlamme waited on that ball as Ortiz underthrew his speedy receiver Henderson, and Ottawa will get the ball back with excellent field position just inside the 29, inside the 30-yard line at the 29. We'll have a replay here. Have a look at that pass. Right away, looking to his left was Ortiz, and the receiver was there. Just stepping in front of him was LaFlamme.
Yeah, nice play by LaFlamme. Give the Bootleggers some good field position. We'll see if Rod can bring them in the rest of the way for another touchdown.
So Moore's at quarterback. Hands here to Neil Hunt. Good penetration by New England, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage as he tries to run off tackle to the left side.
Yeah, that was number 51, Rich Tanzella, the middle linebacker, and he squirted through in a hurry. Should have had him in the backfield. Nice play by the Bootlegger running back, but New England looked pretty good on that play.
So the New England defense in the first half fairly strong against the run, holding the Bootleggers to just 28 yards. And in the second half, most of their offense has come via the pass. The Bootleggers without Mark Brown tonight and without Mike Sheeran, both players on the sidelines, going with Neil Hunt, Domery Roberson, and Steve Powell most of the way tonight.
Another one of the Bootleggers out with injuries is Chris Johnson, number 88, one of the speedy receivers, has a foot injury.
Pass over the middle for Straw is incomplete. Straw had to slide and try to pick that ball off the turf. So it will be 3rd and 10.
Low toss, hard pickup for Jamie to try to get that. Made the good effort, and if he had made it, would have been another spectacular catch for him.
And look at the Legger girls. .30 remaining in the third quarter. 3rd down and 10. Straw to the right side. Waters to the left for quarterback Rod Moores. Moores looks Straw's direction, puts it up. He's got Straw going deep.
end zone. Straw unable to make the catch. I think he had to concentrate on keeping into the end zone at the same time as making the catch. And when you're dealing with an end zone of that size, it's a very difficult play to make.
Unfortunately, as we see on the replay coming up here, Dave, when Jamie gets into the corner of the end zone, he just runs out of space. And as you mentioned at the top of the show, with the 5-yard end zone, it's a problem. There you see the bomb going in there, and Jamie, trying to keep his speed in, came in over the shoulder and just couldn't come up with a catch.
I think if he had more room in bounds around him, we would have seen Jamie Straw make that catch. So it will be 4th down. There is a flag on the play. I'm still waiting for an indication from the official. There is no flag now. There's the indication. Or sorry, there was a penalty against Ottawa. It's declined by New England. It will be 4th down, and we are going to see a field goal try.
Yeah, Willard's come on. He's put his spot down. Looks like he's going to go from about the 36-yard line, and if he makes this, I'll be impressed.
This will be a 46-yard field goal. Willard, virtually no wind. So his kick is up. It's got the distance, but it will be wide to the left. So we have a flag down also, so we'll have to wait for the indication what the penalty is. A daring try, and I guess in a 27-6 ball game, time to see if you can make one from there.
I noticed Willard was down on the carpet there, or picked himself up. I don't know if we're going to get a roughing the kicker call or not.
The New England players in their palms to the skies. So the early indication is that it might be against them. Did we get a signal yet?
I think he did signal roughing the kicker, Dave.
Roughing the kicker it is, so Ottawa will get a 1st down out of it.
This happened a couple times in the first half. New England had the Bootleggers at 4th down and came up with a penalty, giving the Bootleggers another 1st down. And you can't keep doing this with Rod Morris and some of these other players out on the field.
There you see head coach Craig Marshall. The moon in the background. And back to the action. 9:57 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Rod Moores looking, throws for Straw. Just out of reach. Straw dove for the ball. He's a little upset, and so are a lot of the fans. There's another flag down, and some New England players are high-fiving and clapping. I think this one's going to go against Ottawa.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been a holding call or something like that, but I think Jamie Straw's got a legitimate beef with that, and the crowd's starting to get into it now with the officials. Looked like Jamie was grabbed as he dove out for that pass.
Possibly the officials ruling it was an uncatchable ball. Can only hazard a guess. Penalty against Ottawa is declined. The announcement here was incorrect. It was not a 1st down. It was 4th and 5 after the roughing the kicker penalty. So the Bootleggers will go on defense. New England will take over the ball at their own 24-yard line. We'll look at the sidelines. Quarterback Rod Moores, number 12, and his companion Jamie Straw. Bootleggers up 27-6. They led 20-6 at the half. Ortiz fumbles the ball. There's a scrum of players fall on it. The indication is Ottawa football. And that's the 3rd or 4th time we've seen Ortiz unable to get the snap from center.
Once again, the Bootlegger defense comes up big very quickly as they give the offense excellent position. Big Steve McHugh picked that one.
Have a replay here. See, looks like Ortiz never really gets a handle on it. And he wasn't even one of the ones that was into the competition for it. Steve McHugh coming away with the fumble recovery. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line for the Bootleggers. Domri Roberson in motion, coming to the right side of the field from the slot back. Pitches to Steve Powell. He needs a block. He's hit there by number 28, Willie Brody by New England. And Bootleggers will lose a yard on that play.
Nice play by Brody. Jumped in there very quickly had the responsibility of turning the play back inside, stood his ground, and took Powell on straight one-on-one and made a nice hit.
So the bootlegger running game continues to struggle here. Moores has been effective with the pass, but Powell, Hunt, and Roberson have all struggled out of the backfield. Second down and 12, a loss of 2 on the play, they're calling it. Moores drops back, throws to his left, hits Waters at about the 7. He struggles to the 5. And that will be a Ottawa first down, I believe, or just short. We'll see where they spot it. It looks like they're going to spot it short of the first down, gain of about 11 on the play. So it will be 3rd and 1 from the 11-yard line.
Nice catch that time by Doug Waters. Pulled the ball in, made a nice move inside to get a couple more yards.
Waters to the left, Straw to the right, Roberson and Powell in the backfield. Moores gives to Roberson. He bounces off one tackle, not another. There's 58. Let's get the number wrong here.
Number 56, Carl Charette for New England, is certainly pumping himself up after all these tackles and trying to get his team aroused too. And New England standing big on these ground plays by the bootleggers.
Well, there has the bootleggers, normally a well-balanced offensive team, able to go either way. Have really had the run shut down tonight, and we should mention that 2 of their top backs, Mark Brown and Mike Sheeran, are plain clothes on the sidelines tonight, but New England doing a good job shutting them down. 4th and 1 now. Bootleggers are going to gamble. Moores drops back, tries to throw a pass to the end zone for Straw in the corner of the end zone. It's out of bounds. No chance for Jamie Straw to make that catch. And the bootleggers, Rod Moore standing there with his hands on his hips, turned away again.
They're at the 12-yard line, though, so, it's a punt couldn't have done them any better. Whether they should have gone for the field goal or not, I think they should have. Get Willard on the field, get him practiced, the experience of kicking in the games. Rod Moore's a couple passes that have gone astray in the second half so far, Dave, and this happened last week against New Jersey. The second half, the New Jersey Oaks didn't play too badly, and the Ottawa Bootlegger offense was almost non-existent. Luckily, they scored a quick touchdown. They're up 27-6 here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, Moores went through a long audible that play. I don't know whether he changed the play at the line of scrimmage or not. First play for New England is a broken play, tackle made by everybody. Steve McHugh leads the charge. And I think that Pablo Ortiz at quarterback for New England is going to try to come up with a few more plays for their next game. He has been left holding the ball in a situation with nowhere to go a number of times tonight.
Well, this says something about the team, Dave. I mean, we know that they're 1-6, so they've played 7 games. Whether they're missing players that are not on the trip here with them in Ottawa, who knows? But as you said, an unimaginative offense, and it sort of makes me wonder what they do in practice and who they beat.
Yeah, that's the one you wonder about. Who did they run the score up on? So Ortiz will take the snap at 2nd and 12 here. He tries to run to the right side, straight into the arms of Shane Ireland, and is taken down. Gain of a yard, maybe. And he runs to the sidelines, talking with his coach. And heads back into the huddle. It will be 3rd and 11. I think New England needs a flea flicker or something.
Yeah, this old Statue of Liberty or something like that.
Well, it's grinded out football for the Crusaders tonight. 5:40 left in the 3rd quarter. They trail 27-6. They're scrimmaging 3rd and 11 at their own 11-yard line from the shotgun. Ortiz looks, throws over the middle. It's complete. Now, I think the ground caused the fumble, but that's Matt Mashanzik coming up with the reception. No, they're saying he did not have it. looked like he had possession and that the ground caused the fumble.
A good effort that time by Machanzik, too. I mean, he laid himself out to make the grab. Luckily for New England, the officials ruled it this way because as soon as that ball popped out, there were 3 or 4 bootleggers that grabbed it, and they were headed back for the end zone.
So, once again, punting will be Ortiz, 4th and 11. You mentioned he stands just about 9 yards back from where the line of scrimmage is. And I don't know, Ottawa hasn't been that close tonight. He's a one-step kicker. Taking it is LaFlamme at the 40 of New England, and he is stacked up. Rob LaFlamme getting a chance to run back some kicks tonight.
Didn't get much of a run back there. Thought he may have gotten something, but as you mentioned earlier in the game, Ortiz, although he doesn't kick that far all the time, gets the ball up there and the coverage is downfield. That time looked like the Bootleggers did put a bit of a rush on, but I'm surprised they haven't, realizing that he is only 10 yards back. Just try to power through the line and get to the ball to block these punts.
Well, Rod Moores remains a quarterback for the Bootleggers. He has Straw and Waters out wide. There is all kinds of movement in the line, no flags. Throw deep for Straw, he cuts in front, almost makes a great catch. Good defense on that play by number 57, Marcelino Alejandro, who, as we mentioned, was undressed by Straw earlier in this quarter.
Exactly the same play, Dave. This time, though, it looked like Rod Moores didn't get as much loft on the ball, so Jamie Straw could run under it, and Alejandro had the chance to get his hand in there at the last second and break it up.
There were no flags on that play, all kinds of contact before the ball was snapped, but nobody seems to be complaining. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line, actually, for Ottawa. Moores passing again. Looks at Straw, puts it out towards the sideline. Straw makes a great catch and stumbles out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Then there's a flag on the play now, maybe some late hits going on. The flag dropped well after Straw was out of bounds back near the line of scrimmage. And you see a bit of the great athletic ability of Jamie Straw, twisting his body, able to make that catch.
A fine catch by Jamie Straw. Ran a good pattern. The only question that I have right now, Dave, about the way the Bootleggers are running their offense is why are they going to Jamie Straw on almost every passing play? Yes, they do have to get him into their offense, and yes, Chris Johnson is out, but they have other capable receivers out there, and I think they should keep trying to spread it around. It seems like they keep trying to come up with the big strike.
We're going to see the replay here of the catch Straw made. Makes it just 3 or 4 yards inside the out-of-bounds territory before stumbling out.
Nice move, as you said, Dave. Twisted his body around, came up with the grass, and then went out of bounds.
So it will be 1st and 10, Ottawa, from the 39-yard line. The penalties from that play didn't get the indication. Moores drops straight back. He's got pressure there from number 54, Matt Machanzik, and I think that's the first sack of the night for New England.
Machanzik comes up with a good play, and we saw him at the beginning of the game, as we mentioned, Dave, when New England was warming up, going up and down the rows of the players, trying to fire him up and get him ready for the game, and he certainly has come to play.
Well, he has been the outstanding player for New England both ways, really, especially on defense. Kind of surprising at this point, nearing the end of the third quarter with a 21-point lead, that Ottawa is still passing the football the way they are, especially with the trouble they've had establishing the ground game. It is 2nd and 16, a loss of 6 on the play. Moores from the 45. Looks short over the middle, now throws deep for Straw. Oh, Straw leaves his feet, still can't make the catch, but a great effort. Straw lying back there, I think just in agony of not making the catch. That's the kind of catch we see Jamie Straw make often, and I think he likes that when he has to time that leap.
Effort by Jamie Straw. And Ron Moores throws that ball before Jamie Moores has made his final cut and takes his final angle in toward the ball. The thing to note, though, on that play is Machanzik was right in Moore's face again, and Rod did very well to get that ball off down the field.
Good coverage on the play from Terry Mitchell. That's a tough assignment going one-on-one with Jamie Straw. He's done a pretty good job tonight. 4-minute mark now of the third quarter. Roberson in motion towards the right side of the field. Moores drops back, throws at Roberson. He had his back to the play, and it's almost picked off by Mitchell.
And Mitchell, in a fit of rage, rips his helmet off and hurls it to the turf. Thank God he's not that good at catching the ball. Otherwise, that was an easy 6 for the New England Crusaders. Again, a miscommunication between Rod Moores and the receiver.
Well, we mentioned, I mentioned just before the snap of the ball that Roberson was in motion. Moores was looking for him, but he continued in motion with his back to the ball following the snap of the ball. It will be now 4th and 16. Punt from Titley down to about the 20-yard line. It bounces to about the 15, takes a bootlegger bounce into the 10. They'll let it roll till about the 8. Brian Bino and Shane Ireland down there to down it. And with 3:44 remaining in the third quarter, New England will take over. It seems all night we've been looking at New England scrimmaging inside their 20-yard line, and so I guess we have to give the Bootleggers credit for pinning their opponents back.
Very tough area to work from on the field, and as we've mentioned, they just don't appear to have the versatility or the flexibility to come up with the plays to get them in better field position to operate from.
Well, it is 27-6. The Bootleggers showing all indications they are on their way to their 4th consecutive victory. And the snap ball is carried by Ortiz, and they're going to spot the ball. They're going to give him a yard. It will be 2nd and 9. Ortiz keeping a lot tonight. Has had his 2 running backs, Stephen Stevenson and Bill Conassini, have limited success, and he has taken his hits. So it's 2nd and 9 from the 10. Bootleggers showing blitz. Steve Hughes there rushing the line. Handoff to Stevenson, and he picks up maybe another yard.
Ortiz again over toward the sideline, Dave, with the coordinator trying to come up with something to get the New England offense in gear.
It is 3rd and 7. They give him 2 yards on that play. As we see a number of substitutes in for the Bootleggers on defense. Look at the sidelines. Number 97, Lance Thompson. He's not a substitute. 3rd and 7 from the shotgun. Ortiz drops back, looks to throw, throws a wobbly 1-2. Mashanzik, he catches it, runs out to the 30-yard line, twists again, taken down by a storm of Bootleggers at about the 32-yard line. A terribly thrown ball by Ortiz, but Matt Mashanzik, who seems to turn up all over the field tonight, gets his 2nd reception of the night. This one good enough for the 5th New England first down.
And it looks like the referee's been marching off some more yardage, and a penalty, I think, against the Bootleggers. I didn't see what the call was,
Maybe
Dave.
Piling on or late hits. Roughing the passer is the call. Ortiz must have taken a hit after he let the ball go.
As you mentioned, not a well-thrown pass at all. Machancic did well to come up with the reception and made a couple of good moves to pick up some extra yardage.
Maybe he plays special teams, used to catching those wobbly ones. It will be first down for New England from their own 47-yard line. Ortiz will stay with the shotgun. Looking to his left, throws a pass out of bounds intended for number 83, Henry Rentis. Over on the coverage, Rob LaFlamme for Ottawa.
Good rush that time by the Bootleggers. Ortiz did not have a lot of time to get that ball off, and I think he threw it as quickly as he could in order to avoid the sack.
We've seen him mix it up with the shotgun and from the snap all night. He's having a little better success with the shotgun, I'd say, but it's been marginal.
Certainly good operating position, though, now for the New England Crusaders approaching midfield.
They have not been in this part of the field much tonight. it has been in the shadow of their goalposts where they've operated most of the night. The snap is fumbled. Ortiz runs to the right for his life. He's taken out of bounds there by number 52 for the Bootleggers, Lauren Waters, and number 45, Steve Hughes. And it will result in another New England loss. I would say, I'm just guessing, I don't have any statistics to back this up, but I would say their gaining plays have been outnumbered by losses by at least 2-1 tonight.
Certainly, and the thing that people have to realize on that last play is that Waters, being left-handed and running to his right, could not draw the ball back and get a throw downfield, and subsequently he just headed for the sidelines and got tackled there.
Clock counting down the final seconds of this third quarter. This will probably be the last play. 19 seconds. Shotgun. Ortiz looks over the middle. Nobody there. Throws into the Bootleggers secondary. He's fortunate nobody was there. It will be 4th down and 16, and we'll see the special teams units again.
Jamie Straw comes back out on the field to return this one. Ortiz will stay on the field for another punt for the New England Crusaders.
Well, it's a long road back to, long bus ride back to New England, and I can bet that Pablo Ortiz will sleep most of it. He has been on the field a great deal tonight at quarterback and as punter. Snap is good. Another good kick. Straw will take it at his 25. He'll let it bounce. Crusaders are going to get every inch out of this one. They march it down to about the 20, where Ottawa will take over.
I thought Jamie might have made an attempt at that one, Dave. It looked like he was heading over for the return. Thought he might have tried to pick it up and just make a quick dash up the field.
Pearl Fleming, Queen of Football, comes to the field. We will stay with the game here and give Pearl her air for the third quarter stretch.
Singing along with her, Dave. Quite a sight here at Lansdowne Park.
Kevin, she told me once she likes the Bootleggers because they're real blood and guts football. 1st and 10 Bootleggers scrimmaging from their 20-yard line. Andy McAvoy back in the game at quarterback. Throws out to Doug Waters. Waters makes a catch, cuts it upfield to the 35, where he's taken down by New England's number 51, Rich Tenzella. Good tackle from behind.
Nice play by McAvoy, good reception by Waters. That's the type of pass that Andy McAvoy has to throw now that he's back in the game. Get a couple of these quick hitters, get him back into the flow, and then maybe try to open it up with a longer one or go to the running game.
Bootleggers the first down on that play. Their 13th first down of the night. McAvoy with Hunt and Roberson in the backfield. Drops back to pass again. The pressure's on. Flag thrown. He dumps it off to Hunt on a screen pass. No blocking there. He'll only get back to about a yard shy of the line of scrimmage at the 35. There is a flag down.
I think it's going against the Bootleggers in that area of the field, Dave. Probably going to be holding. Irrespective of that, Machanzik, number 54, came up with a great open field tackle against Hunt.
Not many options there for McAvoy, even with the penalty. He had to dump the ball off and did well to get what he could. Notice there are a couple players warming up on the sidelines there for New England. I don't know whether we're going to see somebody else at quarterback We'll have to wait and see. A little anticipation for the next series.
Yeah, that's right. My immediate guess would have been Matanzik because he's done just about everything else, but he's still out on the field playing some defense, so I don't think it's going to be him.
Second and 12.
Bootleggers, well, I'm not sure what the call is with the penalty. We're in a second and 12 situation. I'm not sure how we got here. Bootleggers scrimmaging from their 35, just inside the 35-yard line. McAvoy looks to his right. He's being chased. He's going to go down in the arms of number 54, Matt Matanzik, and number 52, Anthony Rocco.
Matanzik all over the field again. Andy McAvoy taking the snap that time. Dave, looked like a quick drop and then some confusion. Somebody, I think, missed a block, or Andy wasn't on the right page of the playbook.
Well, Andy was looking definitely to his left when he took 2 steps back and immediately seemed panic-stricken that he's not in the position he wanted to be in. The Laker girls not losing any of their enthusiasm here into the 4th quarter. It is 3rd and 12 Ottawa from their 34-yard line. McAvoy drops straight back. He's got Matanzik in his face, dumps it off to Steve Powell. Powell gets past one tackler, picks up a block and goes down at about the 40. He gained about 6 on the play. It will be 4th and about 6, I would say.
Not a bad run that time by Steve Powell. Picked up the reception and, as you said, gained some yardage there for the Bootleggers. Again, Andy McAvoy, safe play for him to run. They've tried to run that screen a couple times. It's a good thing they hit on it and got some positive yardage out of it.
Well, the penetration, again, they've been in McAvoy's face, able to break through that line. The defensive line of New England has been in his face. Punt here from Titley is good kick. Lands at about the 30, rolls to the 25. Ottawa will watch it roll back a bit before number 28, Chris Krasuski, will stop it at the 27. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back with the final 12 minutes and 23 seconds of Bootlegger football right after this. We are at the 11:53 mark of the 4th quarter. The New England Crusaders in a shotgun situation. It is 2nd and long for them. Pumping once is quarterback Ortiz. He throws a pass that is picked off by number 28.
That's Chris Morosky.
Morosky gets around a couple tacklers, takes it down to the 30-yard line. And it has been a long night for Pablo Ortiz. It was a 2nd and about 25, and he immediately tried to go for it all and wound up throwing his 3rd interception of the night, I believe. We'll see a replay here. Immediately pumping that he's going to go long, puts it up, and his receiver falls.
Ball staying with the New England Crusaders, though, Dave. They got a personal foul roughing the passer against the Bootleggers, so the Crusaders now, previously in the shadow of the goalpost, now have the ball out on the 29-yard line.
That's been the best penalty of the Crusaders tonight, have been Ottawa penalties. They have 5 first downs and make that 6. I would venture to say 4 of them have been Ottawa penalties.
Just noticed that Greg Marshall's wandering down the sidelines, having it out with one of the officials, probably questioning some of the calls.
The pass is towards number 88, Henderson. He goes up and can't hang on to it. Eric Henderson, wide receiver on the left side, has been open a number of times tonight, Kevin, and he could have made an impact in this game with a couple, he hung onto the ball.
Yeah, you know, you've got to wonder what it is with some of these receivers. I mean, Ortiz has thrown the ball. Certainly they've been catchable, Dave, and, you know, he's relying on players like Matanzik, who's been out on the field basically for the whole game, to come up with circus-type grabs to give them some kind of position. And the players like Henderson and that just aren't coming through when they need them.
Henderson's been open a few times tonight, but has been unable to. I believe he doesn't have a reception yet. I could be corrected on that. 2nd and 10 from the 28. There's a little give to Conosini. He gives right into the arms of number 52, Lauren Waters, and number 90, Dave Weatherall.
Stacked up immediately, and I think the way that play should have gone is Ortiz probably should have taken another step or two back and then basically slipped the ball around Conosini to him. trying to draw the defenders past him and let Conosini run up the middle.
There was really no point in handing off there. Conosini had no momentum. Really, Ortiz could have done that himself. 3rd and 17 from the shotgun. Ball scrimmaged on about the 21-yard line. Low snap, rolling to his left with Andy Waterman in pursuit, and pounded to the ground by number 90, Dave Weatherall, is Pablo Ortiz.
Well, the hat is off to Pablo Ortiz. He's certainly proven tonight that he's a gamer and can take the shots, because he has been slammed to the turf a number of times by some of the bootleggers. Gets up, slowly walks back, waiting for his special teams unit, or well, the players that are playing special teams tonight.
We're going to see this tackle here by Weatherall. Low snap, rolling to his left, and he really gets put to the turf here.
Weatherall wrapped him up and stuck him.
4th and 26. And we have a timeout. Timeout called by New England. I would think the Crusaders would want to see the clock read 0 as fast as possible, but with 9:44 left in the 4th quarter, they are calling their first timeout of the half. And it gives the Legger girls a chance to move around a bit, keep warm. Fans getting into the action.
Well, I'm not sure why this timeout was called, Dave, and maybe it's to give the New England players a bit of a breather down there on the field, because some of them have basically been out there for the whole game. But as you say, you know, I think they'd want to see the last 9 minutes and 44 seconds tick off as quickly as possible. They can hit the showers and get back on the bus and head toward New England.
Bit of a break here. Kevin, do you want to mention some upcoming bootlegger games?
On the 15th, the Albany Maulers are in town. And on the 22nd, Cleveland Falcons come to town.
They've got a play here. I'm not sure what happened, whether the snap didn't look like a bad snap, but immediately, that must have been what the timeout was for. Pablo Ortiz and his coaches obviously decided they could do better by taking a safety than kicking from the shadow of the goalpost. And he seemed to know from the time he got his hands on that ball that they were going to run that one back. So we will have a break now, Kevin. Sorry, do you want to go ahead with those upcoming games?
On the 15th of September, the Albany Maulers are in town. On the 22nd, Cleveland Falcons. October the 7th, the Bootleggers play the Syracuse Express. On the 20th of October, the Seattle Cavaliers come to Ottawa. And on November the 4th, the Marlborough Shamrocks are in town.
You don't know whether that Seattle team's coming by bus, do you?
If they are, it's a long ride. So it looks like they're going to punt now 2 more points for the Bootleggers as they push their lead to 29-6. A good point, or a good decision made by the Crusaders that time, Dave.
Well, in the interest of mercy, I guess a lot easier for the worn-out Crusader defense to try and stop the Bootleggers from midfield than putting them in the kind of field position they would have had Pablo Ortiz been forced to punt. Bootleggers with 13 first downs, New England with 6, but as I mentioned, a good number of those coming on bootlegger penalties. I think earned first downs we'd be talking about probably a couple.
At the most, Dave, at the most. The New England offense has not been that potent or productive tonight, and subsequently, that's why they only have 6 points on the board. And basically, as we mentioned, that by virtue of some bootlegger penalties.
Well, kicking off is the middle linebacker, Carl Charette. The Crusaders did not appear to have they went for a 2-point conversion on their only touchdown, and so the middle linebacker kicking off. Ottawa will await. The biggest kicker I've ever seen.
Not a bad boot.
Not bad at all. Taken by Morosky. He gets up to about the 47-yard line, where he's taken down by Terry Mitchell, defensive back for.
And also Pablo Ortiz, number 10, in on that play, Dave. And Pablo's proven that he can take the knocks and he can dish them out too.
Pablo probably wants to give out a few in this 4th quarter. He's taken a few tonight, and unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the New England Crusaders. That will march the ball down to the 39-yard line, so a bit of their strategy eroded away there. They give some of the field position back that they took away by taking the safety. 29-6 in the dying. Well, we still got 9:21 left in this fourth quarter. Andy McAvoy in a quarterback for the Bootleggers. Rod Moore started. He threw 2 touchdowns before leaving, reappeared through another in the third quarter. McAvoy dropped straight back, pressures on him. Mashansky was in, passes deep, intended for number 87, Lou Edwards.
First time I've seen Edwards in the lineup tonight, Dave. Don't recall seeing him earlier. McAvoy's pass a bit underthrown. Edwards had to come back for it and almost intercepted by Mitchell.
And Matt Mashanzik in there in the face of McAvoy. You see Jamie Straw probably enjoying the final minutes, not having to take any more hits, but when Jamie's out of the game, I don't know if he's enjoying himself. I think he likes to score. Yeah,
and you know, as you said, he's just probably taking it easy, waiting for this one to be over and get ready to go to practice next week for next week's game.
It will be 2nd and 10 for the Bootleggers from the 38-yard line. McAvoy hands the ball off to Domery Roberson. Roberson breaks a couple tackles, gets it down to about the 22-yard line where number 57, Marcelino Alejandro, takes him down with some help from a couple other Crusaders. It will be first down, Ottawa. That's one of the few big games we've seen on the ground for Ottawa tonight.
Excellent run that time by Domery Roberson. The hole opened up. He got quickly in with the linebackers in the secondary of the New England Crusaders and got lots of good positive yardage from him.
First down on the 22-yard line, 23-yard line for Ottawa. Hand off to Roberson again. He's wrapped up immediately by Matt Mashanzik.
Dave, it seems that somebody is missing their assignment against him specifically. Number 54 for the New England Crusaders has been in on almost every tackle that they've made tonight, and he's played a whale of a game.
Mashanzik lining up at defensive end, it looks like. Let's see. Maybe try to keep an eye on that matchup. 2nd and 10 for the Bootleggers. No gain on that play. McAvoy being chased from behind, throws up a pass, and Lou Edwards has a touchdown.
Nice catch by Edwards, also right in the area, number 6, Steve Farago. Nice play by Andy McAvoy. Scrambled out of the pocket, threw across his body, and it's good for these guys, the second unit, so to speak, to come on and score a touchdown like this.
Well, the left side of the line broke down, and number 52, Anthony Rocco, was able to hail chase on McAvoy. You'll see that here on the replay. Here comes Rocco, and able to find Tough in that tight end zone. That will make the score 35-6, and well, I guess at this point we can say our prediction has come to pass. It is a blowout. Willard's kick is good. Make that 36-6. There is a flag down. We'll wait and see what the indication is from the officials.
Because Jamie Straw's not in the game, number 9, Brian Bino, the holder for that kick.
You want to get on TV? There's a guy walking around with a camera on his shoulder. Shooting back up into the audience. I can't really get anyone's face.
Now they're waving it off. Either there was no penalty or it was against New England. It has been declined. I'm sorry, there was a penalty. The officials not being the clearest in making their calls clear to the fans here. And I don't think that fan even got the message about what the penalty was that time.
Looks like we have a future bootlegger there, Dave. Obviously eyeing up the action and probably getting ready for training camp soon.
If this thing gets any more out of hand, he can play. It's 35-6. Apparently the penalty was against the Bootleggers. It is going to be assessed here on the kickoff. They will kick from the 30-yard line rather than the 35, and the score remains 35-6. Greg Marshall.
Greg doesn't get too excited during these games.
No, he's pretty cool about this one. Willard sets the ball up on the tee and gets ready to kick off. 7:30 remaining. Short kickoff.
Pablo Ortiz picks it up.
By Pablo Ortiz, and that's probably the last place he thought he'd find himself, but he runs the ball back to about the 38-yard line, and that's where he and the rest of the Crusaders will scrimmage from.
It's been a long night for Pablo, Dave.
It's been a long night for Pablo. Pablo has carried the ball, Pablo has made tackles, and now Pablo has run a kickback.
Yeah, it sounds like a commercial. Pablo knows football.
Pablo knows football. Well, he's known turf tonight. He will go from the shotgun on first down from the 39-yard line. Looks to his left, throws for number 88. Henderson is picked off for Ottawa. Number 27, Bill Franklin, running the ball to the left side of the field. He's headed towards the sidelines. He'll go out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. And Ottawa's got the football back again.
What a great interception that time by Franklin. Showed excellent athletic ability in picking it off and good football sense when he waited for some blocking to develop to try to get some more yardage on it.
Not that poorly a thrown ball. It was within the grasp of Henderson, but once again, he doesn't seem to have the hands of a great receiver. We're going to have a replay look at this one. You see just beyond the grasp of Henderson, and Franklin makes the best of a return on this. He does that like a back.
Certainly well done, and the Bootleggers now have the ball on the 30-yard line. We've got a new quarterback in number 18 for the Bootleggers, and that's Rick LaPointe.
Rick LaPointe, who is listed in the roster as a free safety. So we will see. I don't know whether Greg Marshall is planning for a day when he's got two injured quarterbacks, or what the plan is here. The mercy shown on the part of the Bootleggers. Second and 6, the gain of 4 on the play.
Nice little running play inside there, Dave, and obviously done so the point can just get in the game, take a quick snap, and get accustomed to what's going on out on the field.
The point taking his second snap at quarterback here. 6:15 left in the game. Clock counting down. Steve Powell, the lone setback. Powell takes the ball, runs right into one of the Crusaders, and is taken down by... It is number 52, Anthony Rocco, making the tackle. 3rd and 6.
I was watching LaPointe warm up before the game tonight, Dave. He's got a pretty smooth throwing motion, so hopefully we'll get a chance to see him air one out and see what he can do.
3rd and 6, possible passing situation. Had 3 receivers out on the last down and a single running back, and gave the ball to the running back. Lou Edwards to the right for Ottawa. Domri Roberson out there at slot back. Powell remains a single setback. The pass over the middle and nowhere near the intended receiver, Steve Farrago. Cross up in signals possibly there. Shades of Pablo Ortiz on that pass.
Looked like LaPointe was trying just to go with what they call just a quick hot pattern, Dave, where the receiver takes a couple steps and basically gets the ball immediately. Unfortunately, Farrago looked like he was just slanting a little more to the inside than what LaPointe had thought, and consequently he threw the ball away.
I seem to think the receiver was going to cut a little further down the field than he did. The field goal attempt coming up here. This is going to be a 44-yard field goal for Willard. He missed from 46 earlier. And now we've got a stoppage in play with 5:07 remaining in the game. Most of the fans sticking around to see the end of this one.
Well, I like this, that Willard's out on the field to try this, because as we said, Dave, there may come a time in the season where he's got to go out, when the game's on the line, and put one through the post to win it for the Bootleggers. Gives him some practice, and it gives that whole field goal team practice, with the blocking and the snapping and the pin and everything else.
Now from 46 yards. Kick is blocked into the arms of number 40 for the Crusaders, and into the sidelines by Wayne Joseph. And that will result in a change of possession. So wide from 46. He had the distance, but hooked it left. That one, couldn't tell which of the linemen got a hand on it, but the ball skidded into the arms of Joseph. And New England will scrimmage from about the 26-yard line.
You know, I think Greg Marshall wouldn't mind, for instance, if he was missing as far as being wide on these or something like that. But when they're being blocked, it means that somebody up front is not handling their assignment correctly.
But he probably doesn't mind as much in a 35-6 game.
Oh, exactly, exactly.
As he does in a 35-36 game. We are 1st and 10 from the 25, from the shotgun, as Ortiz has done much of tonight. Low snap, immediately running to his left, evades one tackler, turns it upfield. He'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 22 for a loss of 3.
Good penetration that time by the bootlegger defense. Almost grabbed Ortiz back in the backfield. He was able to slip away from one tackle and basically get back to the line of scrimmage. Not a play that is uncommon for him to run, as he just took that snap from the shotgun formation there, Dave, and just tried to run it around the end.
Well, that's the type of simple play we've seen from New England all night. There hasn't been a lot of sophistication to their offense. Clock under 5 minutes now. From the shotgun, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs. High snap, pressure immediately thrown over the middle into the arms of a bootlegger, and falling at the 23-yard line is number 73. We don't have a 73.
Yes, the field announcer just mentioned that, saying it was caught by the unknown soldier.
Unknown soldier.
Unfortunately, number 73 for the Bootleggers not in our program, so we don't know who made that interception.
It's not David Peterson, is it?
Well, yes, now that David's looking for new employment.
The unknown soldier turns one over for the Bootleggers, and as we approach the 4-minute mark, quarterback is Doug Allward, number 11 into the game now. So
Greg Marshall's giving everybody some work tonight, Dave.
This is the 4th bootlegger quarterback we've seen. He drops back, has some pressure, rolls to his right towards the sidelines, lofts it up into the end zone. Touchdown for Neil Hunt.
Well, what an auspicious first play by Doug Allward, number 11, also formerly of the Ottawa Sooners.
Well, Matt Majanzik was on coverage there, and he did all he could to get there in time. Hunt just stood with his back turned to the end zone at about the 1-yard line and was able to rake it in. We're going to see a replay here. Good scramble coming from Allward. You know, a lot of pressure coming from number 92, Devinson Plummer. You see him loft it up. And Hunt with a grasp on it. Make the score 42-6 with Willard converts a touchdown. We were 20-6 at the half. We are now 42-6. What was a runaway has become a blowout.
Well, as we said, too, we thought Greg Marshall would use all the players that he has on the bench, and he's done that in this game. And that's good for the team to be able to play in this situation. Again, with injuries and that, the players have to have some game experience.
Marshall a little more humane, if you will, than former bootlegger coach Mike White, who was known to do things like go for a 2-point conversion when he was up by 35 or 36 points. And Marshall electing to go with a single here and keep the score at 42-6. So Alan Willard, as he has done several times tonight, will kick off.
Willard hasn't done too bad when he's put the ball off the tee tonight, Dave. As we can see, he doesn't take a big run at the ball.
This one's going to go out of bounds. It lands on the out of bounds and rolls out at about the 32-yard line. Flags dropped, and we're going to do this all over again. Remind you again, the next home game for the Bootleggers against the Albany Maulers That is September 15th here at Lansdowne at 8 p.m.
Well, New England, I think, elects to take the ball on their own 35-yard line. Probably a good decision on their part, Dave. Give them a bit of breathing room instead of being pinned up against their own end zone. Perhaps Ortiz can move them down the field for another touchdown in the last 3 minutes and 55 seconds of this game.
Well, they certainly are having easier targets to pick at than they did when the Bootlegger starters were out there. Got sort of a juggernaut of non-starters out there now. Andy Waterman, defensive line. Steve Hughes at linebacker, playing little linebacker. Snap, Ortiz runs to his right. He's got a block out there, gets past him to the sidelines, taken out of bounds by number 41, Jeff Kane, at about the 40-yard line, but he picks up 5 on the play.
Familiar play for the Crusaders throughout the night.
What do you call that? It's not a sneak.
No, it's just Pablo with the ball.
Bootleggers keep themselves awake here in this game. Brian Bino, number 9.
Certainly relaxed. Probably telling Jamie Straw how he ran that pattern in the end zone, or else how he made he made the pin for the last point after attempt by the Bootleggers.
It is 2nd and 5. Ortiz elects to stick with the shotgun. He's going to run it again. Not so successfully this time. He's wrapped up by number 47, Ken Baird, and thrown for a loss of 3 or 4. He will spot it as a loss of about, so the officials put the ball here. It will be a loss of just under 5. Call it 4.5. Clock inside 3 minutes now, showing 2:45. It is 2nd and 10, they're calling it. Ortiz takes the snap. There are a entourage of Bootleggers after him. He throws the ball in the middle of the secondary, nobody near it, and Pablo Ortiz is really just trying to come up with things to keep himself alive at this point, I think.
Probably a smart play by Pablo there, but as we saw, he scrambled away. There's 4 or 5 Bootleggers after him, and he threw it where nobody else was. I don't think he was in danger of getting called for intentional grounding. But it's got to be very scary when, as a quarterback, you pick that ball up, especially from the shotgun formation, and you see a wall of players coming at you. I mean, that's not supposed to happen.
Well, the center for New England right now is number 44, Bill Conoscini, who was lined up as a fullback in the first quarter. He was small as a fullback. He's even smaller as a center. Intended for number 45, Terry Mitchell. Flag on the play. Dropped in the middle of the secondary.
Ortiz that time, normally from the shotgun, you're going to operate sort of 5 yards from behind the center. Ortiz was about 10 yards back in what is his normal punting position. Probably trying to give himself a little bit of extra breathing space, a couple more seconds to wait to see if anything would develop downfield.
There's Doug Waters from the sideline. Lead beside Andy McAvoy. Those two have hooked up tonight for some large gains, one right before the end of the first half. Penalties against Ottawa. It will result in New England's 7th first down of the evening. They scrimmage from just over midfield. Ortiz runs up the middle. He's got some room. He'll take it down to the 40-yard line, and again, there's a punishing hit to the turf. And he will be just shy of a New England first down.
Nice run that time by Ortiz. But as you said earlier, Dave, he's taking a pounding tonight, and he's going to be a very tired player at the end of this game and probably anxious to get on that bus.
The Crusaders have just one quarterback listed on their roster, so that's part of the reason you may not have seen, that we have not seen anyone else take a shot at it. Ortiz has struggled at best at guiding this offense. Now,
looks like the Crusaders have called a timeout. Well, 2 minute
warning.
Once again, I'd like to take the time to say thank you very much for coming out to watch the game today. And don't forget, the next game will be on Saturday, September the 15th, against Cleveland. And it's also
probably be the final stoppage of play of the night. I would imagine New England would elect to forfeit their final 2 timeouts, margin of score 36 points. The Bootleggers, with this victory, go to 4-0. They have now defeated the Brooklyn Kings, the Watertown Red and Black, and the New Jersey Oaks to go with the New England Crusaders, who have been on something of a downer crusade tonight.
Well, they're going to drop to 1-7 after this game.
Ortiz tosses it over the middle, almost picked off by number 47, Ken Baird. It was intended for number 83, Henry Rentis.
Rentis looked like he had about a half a step there, and it was a good play that time by the Bootleggers defense. Ortiz probably, you know, if he could have got a little more loft on the ball, Dave, we might have had a completion there.
A little more loft and a little more crispness. We've seen a few too many lobs instead of lofts. Inside 2 minutes now, 3rd and 1 for the Crusaders. From the shotgun, Ortiz throws over the middle to Mashanzik. He's got it and makes a nice cut upfield to about the 27-yard line.
Well, if we were picking the players of the game, my vote would go to Matt Mashanzik of the New England Crusaders as the New England player of the game. He's played just about every minute of the game, Dave, and demonstrated some good football skills.
Picking up the reception there, his 3rd of the game. Cut it upfield for another 6 or 7 yards. 1:27 left. New England may get a shot at the end zone here and try to put 6 more points on the board. Now rolling out is Ortiz to his right. He's looking at the sidelines. He curls around, takes a hit. Takes a hit before he goes out of bounds from number 45, Steve Hughes. And, you know, you'd think in a game, the final minutes by 36 points, he'd be content to step out of bounds. But not Ortiz. He put his head down and took another wallop.
Yeah, he went head-to-head with Hughes. Nice run that time by Ortiz. Again, we see that when he goes to his right, Dave, he gets to the point where he can't draw that arm back to fire the ball, and you know that he's going to run with it.
Needs a little Tracy Ham skill there.
That's right. And, you know, as soon as those defensive players see that, I mean, they just must be getting ready to line up on him.
Hughes with the hit that time. It will be 2nd and 7. Gain of 3 on the play. See if Ortiz elects to run again. Takes the snap. Now he's being forced out of the pocket. Held on. Now there's a flag down. He spins away from one. The whistle has blown. Shane Ireland in there. The unknown soldier also in there. I'm not sure you can say rolling out of the pocket when there really wasn't.
No, and Shane Ireland was in there very quickly. I'm actually a bit surprised to see Shane in the game at this point.
Shane has been troubled by injuries throughout his career in the CFL before his stint with the Ottawa Bootleggers the last 3 years. You're right, kind of surprising that Greg Marshall would risk losing a player of his caliber, really the defensive captain of the Bootleggers. Flag was against New England. Ottawa declines. Nice gesture on their part.
Oh, it looks like we're about 3rd and 15.
Thrown out to the left side for Mashanzik. He makes the catch for the penalty on the play also.
I'm sure it's going to be an interference
call. It's going to be pass interference. Mashanzik with good concentration, able to make that catch. He's down to about the 20-yard line. Let's see what the flag is. The officials choosing to keep a few calls to themselves tonight. Let's see if this is a flag. Is pass interference against Ottawa. So that will be first down for New England. The Crusaders were in a long yardage situation. The announcer here announced that Ottawa had declined the penalty the previous play. They did not. It was a 2nd and 15 situation. So now with 47 seconds left, New England creeping down closer to the 20-yard line of the Ottawa Bootleggers. Ortiz looks, throws over the middle, passes well short of his intended receiver, number 22, Chris Owens. Ortiz goes over to take instructions from the sidelines. 43 seconds left now.
Well, I think with Shane Ireland on the field, Dave, it's going to be a matter of pride now for the Bootleggers. I mean, you know, this is a walk, as we said, 42-6. But I think he's going to get out there and he's going to make sure that they don't score.
Their only score coming after John Lamont's late hit gave the Crusaders the ball on the doorstep of Ottawa. Pass going for the end zone. He's got Henderson, and again, Henderson is there. The ball is there, and he did not have the hands to make that play. Takes a bit of a late hit afterwards, coming from number 41, Jeff Kane. Henderson, who's had a rough night of it. Several times he's had a position to help his team and has not been able to make the catch.
Dave, we said that Pablo Ortiz does not throw the nice tight spiral, you know, snaps his wrist and the ball travels 40 yards down the field. But he has thrown a number of passes tonight that certainly have been catchable, that being one of them. And as you said, he's got to wonder with guys like Henderson out there what's happening.
36 seconds left, 3rd and 10. Ortiz looks, he's got everybody in his face, dumps it off nicely to about the 15. It's Chris Owens heading for the end zone. He's down at about the 3. Sorry, so that's about the 8. Do some quick math in my head and read that pace.
Nice tackle from behind that time by number 24, Adrian Blackett. Nice pickup by Owens, number 22, as he took the pass and almost ran right across the field, Dave, for a nice reception and a nice gain.
Now, that's the type of play where you've actually would have expected to see more from. The short yardage, dump it off, 6 or 7 yard offense. New England might have been able to use more effectively than they did with the straight quarterback run. Owens has been used sparingly tonight. Good pickup for him, and now with 23 seconds left, the Bootleggers are going to have to come up with a bit of a goal line stand here. The ball at the 8-yard line.
Ortiz almost working exclusively from the shotgun this entire drive, Dave.
Still, he's had to hurry. That one's a one-hopper. He's going to run this one himself, running around the left end. Got his eye on the sidelines. Gets to about the 5, where he's pushed out by a slew of Bootleggers on the far side of the field.
Well, 15 seconds to go in the game, Dave. The New England Crusaders are inching their way toward the goal line.
They're saying he's out at about the 7. So 15 seconds left. Second and goal from the 6. We're going to have a replay. See Ortiz's scramble.
Hey, look out on the commercial. You got a commercial? You got a commercial? Look out.
15 seconds remain. The score 42-6. Not really a nail biter. Snap is high. Throw to the end zone. Incomplete. Mashanzik is complaining he was interfered with by number 41, Jeff Kane. Not getting any sympathy there.
Looked like Kane might have got a hand in there against Mashanzik, though, but I guess the official just decided to let it go.
11 seconds remain in the game. 3rd and 6, or 3rd and goal from the 6. Ottawa has 16 first downs, New England 10. This has been their second most impressive drive of the night. This could be the last play of the game. Snap, Ortiz looks, he's going to run it, runs up the middle, into the end zone, touchdown. So a little reward for Pablo Ortiz. He keeps it and evades enough Bootleggers to get himself across the goal line. Mashanzik spikes the ball, and that will make the score 42-12 with 6 seconds remaining. Let's see what the Crusaders do for the convert. On their first touchdown, they elected to try a 2-point conversion more by default from the fact they didn't have anyone who was going to attempt the kick.
Nice run that time by Ortiz. Took the snap again, operating from the shotgun. Went up the middle a bit, dipped to the outside, crashed into the end zone. And as you said, a just reward for his play tonight. He certainly has taken a beating, but he's been a gamer, and he's held in there throughout the duration of the game.
They are going to elect to try the two-point conversion again. Ortiz sets up in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Pressure coming from the left side. He runs right. Now circles back again. Throws up a pass that is going to go right into the hands of the unknown soldier. And 6 seconds, no time going off the clock. That was, let me remind you, an extra point conversion attempt. And the Bootleggers will take over the ball.
Dave, on that play, he was looking for number 88, Eric Henderson, and if you noticed, as Henderson went into the end zone, he tripped and fell, and that's when Pablo realized that he had to turn back and ran around a bit and tried to throw the long pass across the field for the two-point conversion.
We're going to see the touchdown replay where Ortiz scores to make the score 42-12. From the shotgun, he just keeps it and runs left. Well, the hole there, didn't really even get a block. Number 22, Chris Owens, went in front of him, but kind of with turning and watching. Doug Waters back with Rob LaFlamme for the Bootleggers to retrieve this kick. Number 56, Carl Charette.
Looks like we're going to have a short one here, Dave.
The Crusaders gathering around the ball. It is an onside kick or a squibber. Fallen on by Steve Powell and Neil Hunt, and clock goes down to 3 seconds. We've got time for one more play.
And Doug Allward, number 11, back out at quarterback. Maybe he can crank it up one more time and pitch one toward the end zone.
Few fans hanging around to see the end of this.
With the Ottawa Bootleggers from South Field against Cleveland. And it's also going to be a night to remember when you can bring you one on.
The clock is showing no time left. So this will be the final play. Ball on the 43-yard line. Bootleggers just one receiver wide, looking like they're going to sit on this one. They do. There is the whistle. The game is over. The final score, the Bootleggers 42, New England Crusaders 12. Make the Bootleggers record 4-0. The Crusaders 1-7. And Kevin, what could you say about this one?
Very hard one to call, actually, Dave. It was, you know, in the first half we sort of saw two games. The Bootleggers came out strong in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter they struggled a bit. The second half, guys like Rod Moores, Jamie Straw, Shane Ireland saw some more actions. The Bootleggers came up with a couple of more quick scores. And then we went to the second team. Guys like Doug Allward came on the field and played very well. And the Bootleggers, of course, with a 42-12 victory are full credit for the win, but they had some problems. Special teams in particular. Greg Marshall, I'm sure he's happy with the win, realizes he's still got some more work to do, and they'll have to get ready for the next opponent.
Well, I think when Marshall's looking at this game, he's got to consider this, I guess, right from the outset, a type of practice. And he's going to look at this game not from a win or loss point, but what did we not do well, and what do we need to work on during the week for the tougher teams. I think the perspective is going to have to be important for him to look at this game. And really, from a win-loss point of view, it was never in doubt.
Oh, no, not at all. And, you know, we tried to make that point clear throughout the game. The New England Crusaders, you know, as we said, they dropped to 1-7. Although they got 12 points against the Bootleggers' vaunted defense, they really didn't show us a whole lot.
Well, thanks for joining us. The final score, Ottawa Bootleggers 42, New England Crusaders 12. For Kevin Robinson, I'm Dave Naylor. Thanks again.